Come and help me from this insanity. Where am I disgrace? I hate to see your face. I wanna see you drown in your sorrow. You know I'm not the same. I'm fading away. I'm falling into my grave. Look at me, I'm lost at sea, circling eternally. Come and help me from this insanity. Where am I disgrace? I hate to see your face. I wanna see you drown in your sorrow. You know I'm not the same. I'm fading away. I'm falling into my grave. Look at me, I'm lost at sea, circling eternally. Come and help me from this insanity. Where am I disgrace? I hate to see your face. I wanna see you drown in your sorrow. You know I'm not the same. I'm fading away. I'm falling into my grave. Look at me, I'm lost at sea, circling eternally. Come and help me from this insanity. Where am I disgrace? I hate to see your face. I wanna see you drown in your sorrow. You know I'm not the same. I'm fading away. I'm falling. There's a sign in the sky, and the thunder is calling my name.
Ooh, rocking up a cool. Deep tops on that Z, I was passing you. Swerving with you on the passenger side. Shorty, let's ride. Rim still spinning, so shorty, let's glide. She asking me why I don't get.
Sorcery revealed to those who seek Mania. Give yourself to the one. Worship her, Mania.
Welcome to Legends of the Squared Circle. Here with James and Brandon. How we doing, y'all?
Man, it's about to be lit.
Yes, sir. Another Monday.
Man, I love it. I have noticed that when Villains goes on at 9 instead of 8, the viewership almost triples.
Hmm.
So maybe we should consider going on at 9 in the future. So that's just something to think about. Literally triples. It's crazy. Usually at 8, there's low numbers at the beginning. I guess people aren't really home and all that yet. But regardless, we are here. We are having our top 3 WrestleMania main events. Top 5, sorry. Top 5 Royal Rumbles and a special top 5 at the end we will speak of when we get there. So how's everybody doing today?
Man, it's a good day, man.
Hell yeah. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. The only thing that sucks is that it's Monday.
You's right.
Look, that's for people who have weekends off. That shit don't apply to me. So my days off are just random. Like could be a Monday and a Friday, could be a Tuesday and a Wednesday. It's all different. But it's all good. I got us shared to some groups that I'm in. Hopefully this will work out well for us. I know X will come through for us because James's show Saturday night, 11,500 people live, not total, live. So I just want to go ahead and throw that out there. Villain Media Network had a show that had 11,500 people watching live. Man, that's something to be celebrated though for the network. What's going on, Brent? Something to be celebrated for the network for real. That is a huge milestone. And the last time you did it, you hit 9,700 live. So
yes, sir.
Keep climbing that. There's a WWE event coming up next Saturday, right?
Is there? I believe Saturday night's main event.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's next Saturday. I think I saw that online today. Well, regardless, hopefully, you'll be there to put on a live show. But of course, without further ado, let's do our top. I know that WrestleMania is the big dog, but I want to do the Royal Rumble after. So let's start with our top 5 WrestleMania main events. Brandon, we'll start with you. What's your number 5? And then we'll do James's 5, my number 5, and so forth.
So I wrestled with this for a little while. It was a really hard choice. I mean, this is kind of like it's a number 5, but I could throw anything else here. But I'm gonna put HBK and Cena from WrestleMania 23. They put on a real banger. But I will be honest with you, the rematch on Raw the next night was even better than that. But anytime you put Shawn Michaels in a match with even Cena with a limited moveset, they put on a banger. It was storytelling. You really thought he was going to win the title again. It was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And obviously, you wasn't going to take the belt off the face of the company at the time. But nonetheless, still a really good match and a really underrated WrestleMania, to be honest. Yeah,
it was. For me, anytime Shawn Michaels puts on a show, I'm in, so I definitely am down for that one as well. So let's, we all know, those of you who watch the show, I know a lot of people are new, but those of you who watch the show, like I'm a big Shawn Michaels fan. So, James, your number 5 WrestleMania moment. This is a personal list, by the way, not top 5 ever.
Yeah. So the number 5 spot, I got the triple threat match between Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Chris Benoit at WrestleMania 20.
Hell yeah.
You saw Triple H and Shawn Michaels going at it for so long. Shawn really wanted that title, but ultimately Chris Benoit would end up winning that matchup, and it was just one hell of a banger. And then the emotional ending of Eddie coming out and those two just hugging it out in the middle of the ring, just cinema.
That's one of the greatest triple threat matches of all time that nobody will talk about. Like that the storytelling in that match was nuts. Not to mention Shawn was freaking bleeding freaking everywhere for like 5% of the match. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
It was a great match.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy talk. Because my number 5 WrestleMania main event is WrestleMania 20, Chris Benoit, Triple H, and HBK. Chris Benoit pulled that out, right? So, yes, we all love the Undertaker, and Jonathan, man, if you want to come and guest host on this show too, man, we do top 5 lists, and they go on forever. Like I know Brandon and James have each given me like 200 topics, so this show is forever show.
We're
Hell
good.
yeah.
So, but that really is like I got it written right here. Like there's no lie. That's my number 5 WrestleMania. He was some
That is awesome.
that was badass. Anytime you get Chris Benoit, Triple H, and HBK in the ring together, man, that's just gold. Like
Mhm.
pure ass gold. But yeah, you kind of stole my thunder there. All right. Number 4, Brandon.
Number 4, I got Mania 14, Austin and HBK. Before HBK went off into retirement for a few years. That match with Tyson and all that.
That is a great one. You talk about storytelling. That was one of the greatest storytelling that there was in any wrestling ever. You involved Mike Tyson, and he joined DX, and at the end he punched Shawn Michaels in the mouth because Shawn Michaels had back problems. He was going into retirement. Great number 4. James, number 4.
Number 4, it's another Triple H one, but it was Triple H and Batista at WrestleMania 21 for Big Gold. At the time, when we saw Evolution kick out Randy Orton, it was essentially the beginning of the end. We just didn't know it at the time. But like Batista said, when he won Royal Rumble, the Raw was still all about Triple H, and Triple H was basically getting inside Batista's head, trying to make him to go to SmackDown after winning so he could keep Big Gold to himself and nobody would step up to face him. But man, that face turn Batista made, the power bomb through the table. Oh my God. What a lead up to the main event of WrestleMania 21, and what a match between those two guys.
Yeah. So that was a fantastic match. Let's see what we see here. Tyson, right hand down goes Michael. Yeah, JR. So we're gonna do our top 5. Did we already do top 5 ringing out? Or we ain't done that. But
we didn't do announcers or commentators. That'd be 2 good ones.
So we should do those in the same week. Announcers and commentators. Make it like a show for because I'm gonna tell you right now, that will probably be one of the hardest lists that I ever have to nail down.
Oh yeah,
so many good ones. But I already know who my number 1 in both of those are. Brandon, you and I spoke about this guy a little while ago. I ain't gonna break it down. He's my number 1. Honestly, announcer, and it's not even close. But anyway, so my number 4, WrestleMania 3, Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. It was I struggled with this because I wanted to put it at number 2, but number 2, you're gonna be like, that don't make no sense, but you had to be there for the build-up. But he body slammed Andre the Giant and dropped the leg, and the first guy ever to beat Andre the Giant, and he won the title, and it was just iconic. It was classic, right? I'll never forget. And me being as a kid, and I know this is way before y'all were born, but me, I was like 5 years old when this shit came out, right? So everything was real to me. Like,
hey, say when I was a kid during the Attitude Era, I'm like, these 2 guys are brothers. You find out they're not. Well, fuck it, they're still brothers anyway.
Right. But for me, larger than life. So there's no cell phones, there's no internet, nothing like that when I'm growing up, right? It's not the same. It's not the same world, right? So you only get to see it on Saturday nights and on VHS and stuff like that. And that was it was amazing. That's number 4 for me. So number 3, Brandon.
Number 3, I got another Austin match, man. I've got Mania 17 with Rock and Austin.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Dude, they didn't even have to. Just the aura that comes from those 2 together, that was probably the best match between them 2, in my opinion. At least at WrestleMania, in my opinion. Just, you can't beat it.
I mean, when you think about it, we essentially had 2 matches for the price of 1 because both of those guys were competing with each other to see how many camera flashes they could get when they both came out.
Pretty much.
I mean, I mean, you can't really argue that these are two of the biggest stars in wrestling history, and they liked each other. They liked working with each other. They were good with putting each other over, so the matches were just almost perfect, right?
Hmm.
So that's a very good one. Number three, James.
Number three, I'm going way back on this one, but not as far back as number two, though. But number three, I got Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart in the classic Iron Man matchup between those two at WrestleMania 12. I mean, it was back and forth with these two guys, and then Michael securing it with a classic Sweet Chin music and securing his first ever world title win.
So fantastic match. I'm going to defer and not speak on that right now.
Oops.
Yeah, so number three, I got your number four, Stone Cold Steve Austin HBK with Tyson involved, great storytelling. It was a classic turn for Mike Tyson, baddest man on the planet. Stone Cold said that's where it started to come out. He said, I got a problem. He said, do you have a problem with me? He said, I don't have a problem with you. I have a problem with you saying you the baddest man on the planet when it just ain't the truth. And it was just classic, like classic Stone Cold, man. Absolutely loved it. So that's my number three. So really, really good WrestleMania right there. I will never forget it as long as I live. Number two, Brandon.
I got Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 19.
Yep.
Ooh.
Banger. Where Brock
Mhm.
almost breaks his neck trying to do a shooting star press. Classic. Back and forth chain wrestling, like F5 after F5 after Angle slam, and you didn't know who was going to win. But the ending was
Mhm.
great. It was a great match. And it was a good way to kind of pass the torch back to Brock after, he had already won it. But that match
Yeah.
was just really good. A really underrated WrestleMania as well.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%. Anytime you get Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle in the same ring together, it's not as electric as Stone Cold and The Rock, but as far as technical wrestling goes and putting on
Mhm.
the show, they're as good as anybody, them two. Number two, James.
Number two is actually your number four, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3.
Classic.
Yeah, the moment that we get with Hulk Hogan becoming the first man to power slam Andre the Giant and becoming the first guy to defeat Andre the Giant. I mean, like one of the biggest WrestleMania moments that we'll ever see.
Sure.
Yes.
Larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and I wanted to put it at my number two, but this not the most iconic list. This is my favorite list. So if
Yeah.
I was doing most iconic, this is probably going to be number one. To be honest with you, Andre and Hulk Hogan pretty much made wrestling what it is today. A lot of people don't understand. Like that was the match that threw the WWF into stardom.
Mm-hmm.
It was everywhere. So like I said, so my number two is WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior.
Ooh.
That
Like
was
you have
good too.
and it seems weird because the Ultimate Warrior was so bad at so many things, but he was right. He was so popular. It was such a big deal. They wanted to take the strap off of Hogan. They couldn't get anybody to do it. They finally found the guy with the popularity. And he won the match with the ending was kind of dumb. He just kind of like jumped up in the air and landed on him, and that was enough to beat Hulk Hogan. I don't know, like not
Yeah.
even Gorilla Press. But anyway, it was iconic and it was fun. And 1 week later, Hogan took the title back because the Ultimate Warrior couldn't carry a strap. But it was iconic because the build up to it was amazing. It
Mhm.
was like everybody, it was the largest pay-per-view ever at the time, even more so than Mike Tyson's fights that were coming out. It was that big. Really good. Number one WrestleMania moment. I don't know, y'all, so I'm excited to hear this.
Well, I'm gonna show my bias. My number one is your number five. Mania 20 is the greatest triple threat match in WrestleMania history, probably the greatest triple threat in wrestling history. The fact that you could put somebody in that match with two guys that already had a feud that went on for over pretty much a decade in the making, that
Mhm.
you could get a guy to come in number one in the Rumble, win the Rumble, and instead of just going to SmackDown and challenging JBL, he wants to get in the middle of the mix with them. And they didn't skip a beat, man. It was back and forth, and he ended up making Hunter tap out, which was a really good ending. And the fact that they were able to have that sentimental moment at the end, I know it's not really popular nowadays, but dude, that was like the best ending ever.
Agreed.
It was really, really good. That's why it made my top 5 list.
Same.
Like 100% made James's top 5 list too. This one made all 3 of our top 5 lists. That's how good that match was.
Yep.
Number 1, James.
So number 1, a lot of people I see on social media a lot like, oh my God, our country's never been divided more. Well, people don't know the rivalry between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, especially with especially leading up to WrestleMania 17. I mean, everything was there. The promos, the music video, the music choice, fucking Limp Bizkit My Way. They're the 2 top baby faces in the company right now, both competing with number 1. And, you know, they knew from the moment that they started their feud together that it was basically Batman and Joker. Like, we're going to be doing this forever, man.
It was good that they finally put Rock over because he never could beat Austin every time, and you figured he would at some point in Mania. And that was a really good point to put because you got to think after that, that's when Austin took his ball and went home. That's when Rock finally went to Hollywood. So I think it was a really poetic way to end it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and then The Rock comes back as Hollywood Rock, which honestly is one of his underrated gimmicks. But it was crazy at the time. And the final match between those 2, which was Austin's final match at WrestleMania 19, I mean, it was just poetic.
It was great.
It was really good. Anytime, like we said earlier, when you get The Rock and Stone Cold in the same ring. So no surprise. My number 1 WrestleMania moment was WrestleMania 12. Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. So this went 60 minutes. Bret Hart was taking his ball and going home. Vince McMahon came out. He's like, no. Restart the match till we get a winner. And they go back out there. Shawn Michaels finally wins the title. First of all, like you should have known. Like I'm sure you 2 already knew because I think I told y'all already this is my favorite match of all time. Like there is no match in all of history I like better than this one. None. So of course it was going to make my number 1 WrestleMania, but I mean, like you can't like with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and I get it, it's old and a lot of younger people didn't see that feud, but it's what brought the smaller wrestlers to the forefront when Bret Hart won the title and started feuding with Shawn Michaels. Because before it was Andre the Giant, it was Ultimate Warrior, it was Hulk Hogan. You know, the small guys really didn't get a shot, right? Until Bret Hart, as much as like I hated him, he broke that mold with the help of Shawn Michaels. And it was really, really good. Like I said, it's my favorite match of all time. So I already knew when we said we were doing this one, I'm like, I got my number 1. Now let me go see what 2 through 5 is going to be.
Yep. I'll agree. Like, even with the Mania main events, I was like, I already know which one I'm going with.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Brandon did too. Like, I guarantee you, the first thing he thought was that triple threat match was the greatest ever. It's my number 1.
Yeah.
So really good. Like, really good top 5 list. I love it. So let's go ahead and take a commercial break. We will be back in just a minute. You're watching Legends of the Squared Circle only on the Villains Media Network.
We stick to the bell. Chaos and disorder play them
Beetlejuice,
Hey,
what's up?
snot nut.
What'd you call me?
Snot nut.
You know who you're talking to?
Yeah, you, snot nut.
It's Mr. Flatnut to you.
I'm gonna play that clip every episode. I'm telling you, I love that so much. So I just want to throw one wrench in there with you. So, what is your favorite WrestleMania? Not just main event, favorite WrestleMania.
Oh man.
So mine is still 12. So I mean that card top to bottom was great.
I'm honestly fighting back and forth between 17 and 18 because like both cards were stacked. Not to mention we get the infamous TLC match, and both times they tear the roof down. WrestleMania 18, we got The Rock versus Hogan. Hogan's supposed to be a bad guy going into this match because he's with the NWO, but the crowd is like cheering just by him turning his head, and no, not you. And Rock knew exactly what was going on. The dude does a heel turn like mid match, and it was just absolutely crazy.
What about you, Brandon?
I'd probably say between 17 and 20.
Ooh.
Because 17 had a really good card, but 20 had a really good card too, without maybe one or two of the matches that were trash, like Lesnar and freaking Goldberg. The Cruiserweight match was really good. Cena and Big Show was really good. They had Jericho and Christian was really good. Taker and Kane was really good. Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero was really good. So I'd probably lean more that way, but WrestleMania 17 is classic. They had so many good matches on there.
I mean, it really was. It was really, really good. One of my favorites. So now we're going to do our top 5 favorite Royal Rumbles. Like my number 5 is going to shock y'all. Like y'all are gonna be like, no way.
The first one ever.
No. Y'all are gonna be like, no way he picked one that recent. But number 5, Brandon, what's the 5th best Royal Rumble to Brandon?
I'm going to go Royal Rumble 2003. Lesnar wins the Rumble. The end goes down with Kane, Taker, Batista, and Lesnar. Batista gets thrown out. Undertaker throws Kane out, and all of a sudden Lesnar chucks Undertaker over the top rope. Really good, man. And the cool thing about this Rumble, it propelled a really good match at 19 between HBK and Jericho. Because Jericho busts HBK up like within 2 minutes and throws him over the rope. 30, 40 minutes goes by, and then HBK comes in, distracts him, and ends up getting him thrown out. And they end up having a really good feud and a really good match at Mania 19. So I got Royal Rumble 03 with Lesnar.
But one of my favorites as well. Like I'm not sure it's gonna make my top 5, but I for sure love that one. Anytime that you have Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels, like just count me in. Like I'm gonna go ahead and say, just count me in because that's just those are like my 2 favorites of all time. So number 5, James.
So number 5, I'm gonna have to go with Royal Rumble 2002 because that was when we saw an epic square off between Stone Cold and Triple H. Not to mention Triple H coming back from tearing his quad. But man, oh man, what a Royal Rumble that was! Like there was just so much going on. I believe that was also the same Rumble where Maven eliminated the Undertaker, and then you got Hurricane trying to think that he's like thinking that he's like Rey Mysterio being the littlest.
Yes, he grabbed both of them by the neck, and they choked his ass.
You're like, what the hell's this idiot doing?
I watched that one today. Like I watched it today. True story. Love the Hurricane, but that was a great one. I'm obviously one of 2 that the game won. So my number 5 is the other one the game won. So 2016, I gotta tell you, that was one of the most, like I almost put it higher on my list because I'll never forget it was for the championship, right?
Yes.
And then Roman Reigns championship, and they're in there, and Roman Reigns is just busting people up, right? Roman Reigns, great character. And then number 30 comes on, and it's fucking Triple H. He comes down there, and then when Roman Reigns isn't looking, throws his ass out, wins the Royal Rumble, throws him out. You know, he wins it later, but throws him out. Roman Reigns, and then Triple H wins the WWE title for the final time in his career. I didn't see it coming. I usually do, but I did not see that coming. I think, which is why it's one of my top favorites. Like it did not dawn on me that was about to happen. But when he threw Roman Reigns out, everybody knew Roman Reigns was not leaving with his championship. And oh God, who's gonna win? And then Triple H just took it, and he's just like, "Got a problem?" And he's laughing, and it was great. And I know both of y'all. I said 2016. Y'all were like, "What?" But it was good. It really was that good. One of the top 5 favorites of mine, and I almost put it at number 4, but when I get to number 4, you'll understand why number 4 got there. But your number 4, Brandon.
I've got Royal Rumble 97, where Austin gets eliminated. When Austin gets eliminated and slides back in and freaking flips him back over, and nobody's seen it. It was so good. And then Austin keeps eliminating people. He's like, where y'all at? Like, where y'all at? And he's getting his ass whooped, and he's like, come on. Like, somebody else, come on, let's go. It was good. It felt like it took freaking forever, but it was great.
So it was. But my favorite part, my favorite part is when they threw him out, they didn't see it, because that was the birth of the greatness of Stone Cold. Yes. But he's sitting up there on the ring, he's like looking at his watch, like you said, fucking Bret Hart's music come on. He's like,
oh,
yeah.
He's been hanging down his arm. He's like, oh crap.
Yep.
And then he ends up freaking eliminating, and Bret's like, bruh. Like, and I'm like, this is foreshadowing a screwdriver. I'm like, damn, dude, this dude just can't catch a damn break, bro. He just
especially with it reminded me of the Lex Luger one. And Bret Hart, man, that shit was funny, man. Like I just Bret Hart's always got the screw job.
Blame it on Bill Goldberg.
It's funny to me because fuck Bret Hart. Oh, Bret Hart loves Bill Goldberg. That's his buddy.
Oh, you already know.
Together.
You've ruined like the greatest career in wrestling history, and you're not even sorry for it.
I mean, look, Bret's been milking this shit since the day that it happened. It's like, dude, it's been over 30 fucking years.
I mean, look, Bret talks about everybody, but you got to give the guy his flowers, man. He was that guy, bro. Like,
sure.
He bitches a lot, but he was that guy, bro.
He was.
Look, I'm a Michaels guy, but I've told y'all time and time again, Bret Hart is a top 3 all time. He said that he was the best there is, the best there was, or the best there ever will be. And I mean, like, honestly, his in-ring performance supports what he was saying. As much as it turns my stomach. So when I do my top 5 favorites, he's not on there. I promise you. But when I do all time, he's on there. And even if you don't like the guy, you cannot take away what Bret Hart has done.
Yeah.
But that's just what I think, and I think we all agree with that. Number 4, James.
So number 4, I mean, probably the most beautiful storytelling leading up to the Royal Rumble. Rey Mysterio winning in 2006. I mean, the story behind it with Eddie passing, it was like, we got to give it to this dude. Just because of how close him and Eddie were. And we got to put the title on him as well. Like, he's the littlest big guy in the WWE. The dude can fly. He's like a acrobatic type of fighter, but he makes it work. And it's just, I'm getting chills of like just talking about it and him coming in at number 2. And it's like, damn, this dude really won the Royal Rumble.
I gotta know Andrew's reaction because his face said a lot, and I want to hear what he's got to say.
I mean, for me,
the eye roll was for me. I was like, wait a
minute. For me, I am not a Rey Mysterio fan. I've never liked him. He's just boring, and he does a 619 and he knocks out Brock Lesnar. Like, it's just not good. I just don't like him, and especially when I hear people say he's the greatest Latino wrestler of all time, and Eddie Guerrero sitting right here in my head, I'm like, that's crazy talk.
Yeah,
Eddie
no,
Guerrero
look,
is the
I'm not going to
greatest
go as
of all
far
time.
as saying that Rey Mysterio
Yeah,
is the greatest
that's
Latino
cap.
wrestler. No.
That's
Yeah,
cap.
that's 100% cap. It's Eddie
But-
Guerrero and then everybody else, whether you
The-
like it or not. Like
the
Eddie
match-
Guerrero's in my top 5 favorites. Like I
Yeah.
love that guy.
Easily.
The match wasn't bad, but it just felt a bit forced to me. It just felt a bit forced. I really like the story, and the fact that he won it was dope, especially for number 2. That rarely ever happens. It just felt like a little bit. It felt like a little bit of a force. It felt like a little bit of force, and it felt like it was kind of a cash cow. Like they were just trying to make money off of Eddie's name, and I didn't really care for that.
Right.
Well, I'm not the Royal Rumble itself from beginning to end, and the way everybody played their part and the action that was in it. I give you that. It was good. But the fact that Rey Mysterio won it was bad, and it ruined it for me. Just to be honest with you, I don't hate Rey Mysterio.
His face, though.
But they keep
I'm
putting
so
this
weird.
guy, they keep putting him in top 10 lists, and I'm like,
He's the GOAT, dude. God,
does Rey
like, what is wrong with you?
Where does Rey Mysterio fit in a top 10 list? Get that shit out of here. He's not a top 10 all time. Knock it off. Eddie Guerrero is a top 5, but Rey Mysterio is not a top 10. Stop it. Knock it off with this noise that Rey Mysterio is the greatest Latino of all time, because it's not true, man. And you got a lot of good ones that was out there, man. Even La Parka, even though I know that he didn't get he did work. Like, he was fun to watch. He little shuffle that he would do, man. La Parka was cool, man. I love La Parka. You know, I love Juventud Guerrera. Man, that dude with his look, man, I mean, like, way better than Rey Mysterio Jr. And you don't get to say this often, but I think Rey Mysterio only got popular because how small he was. Because he was not good on the mic.
No.
Like, not at all. He could move. I'll give him that. But Billy Kidman could move better, in my opinion. Anyway,
Billy Kidman was him.
Yeah, he was.
And you talking about Latino guys.
You talk about going to Himothy University? Billy Kidman by a landslide.
You're talking about Latino guys. What about Super Crazy and Psychosis? Oh
Man,
my God.
I love Psychosis.
Nasty. Man. Both of them. That Super Crazy was nasty in ECW. Very good.
Crazy, but Psychosis should have got a bigger push.
He should have, yeah.
No doubt. And I love La Parka. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He wore a skin. He did a little dance, but he would bust your ass. He won a lot on Nitro. Like, he won a lot of times. But he was just so big, he couldn't compete for the cruiserweight because the guy was obviously 230 pounds, 6 foot ever live, right? Because they built him from Mexico, and I've never heard of a 6'2" guy from Mexico. And he was out there, like, literally when he fought Hulk Hogan that time, man, he was out there busting his ass, and it was fun for me. Anyway, we'll continue on, but I love the part.
Maybe one day we can do an episode just about Nitro and stuff like that. I think that'd be cool. You can kind of get into some guys like that.
Oh, yeah. 100%, man. Like, I'll check my schedule and I'll tell you what my Mondays are like. Don't do that one until I can be here. Because I love Nitro and I love Juventud and I love La Parka. They do not get the respect they deserve.
Hey, don't forget Conan.
That man, look, that's another one. I'm putting Conan above Rey Mysterio too. He didn't get the push he did, but the dude could speak on the mic. The dude had some really cool in-ring shit going on, and he had charisma. Way more charisma than Rey Mysterio would ever have. Like, he come out there, you would be fun.
Yeah. Let's put it this way: without Conan, there's no Rey Mysterio.
I agree. I agree. He was actually Max Moon in the WWF in the late 80s, early 90s. True story. But number 4 for me is the very first Royal Rumble ever. Hacksaw Jim Duggan won it.
Oh.
Right. And the reason that it's there for me, that is the birth of the greatest match ever. Nothing tops a battle royal for me. Especially the Royal Rumble. It's the first one ever, and I love me some Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Actually, Brandon and I spoke about this earlier. But like, the dude was fun. He was all about America. Everybody loved him. And he talk about a guy that probably should have got a title run that didn't. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was the biggest star as anybody else, man. Like, he really was.
And he still wrestles, bro. He's old as hell, and he still wrestles.
Holy
that same 2x4. Oh,
Oh my
Hacksaw's
god.
that guy, bro. I love Hacksaw.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I loved Hacksaw Jim Duggan as a kid. He'd come out there, he'd pop somebody upside the back with a 2x4.
That
That shit was
2x4.
fun. Hacksaw was that dude. I loved Hacksaw.
Cause he don't
so
need to talk. He's
number
just
4.
Hacksaw. He's just cool, bro. He didn't have
cool.
to say anything.
He didn't. Cool. 4. That's my number 4, and it's the very first one ever, and that matters because it was the birth of the greatest show on earth. Like I said, I watch Royal Rumble every single year. Like even to this day, I'm 43 and I'm catching the Royal Rumble. I don't even know who any of the people are. I'm like, I don't care.
Hey, the Rumble from this year, was dope. Just saying. That was a great ending with Cody and freaking Punk. Yeah. Oh my god, that was solid.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. So the Royal Rumble this year, and James and my son Lou like brought me to watch WrestleMania for the first time in 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? So, which is probably why all my WrestleManias were old, because I just didn't really see all the new ones. And I went back and watched them, but it's not the same as if you see it in the moment with the build up. It's not the same.
Yes.
That or you need to watch that, or you need to start from you got to start like a little while back so you can get the storyline, because you can't soak it in.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Some years back when WWE Network came out, I took Nitro and I watched it from beginning to end. And then I inserted the pay-per-views where they went to, and I watched the whole story again. Man, that shit was great. I tried it with WWF, but that shit was so long that I gave up after like 3 years.
I was doing I'm in the process of doing the Attitude Era, and I was trying to bounce back and forth between that and Nitro, but I'm kind of in the part where Nitro, where the NWO just keeps freaking jumping everybody, and it's just kind of bumming me. It's just bumming me out, so I have to force myself to sit down and watch it. But now I've kind of skipped a couple weeks. Now I got to go back and catch up.
So I heard that Netflix is going to go ahead and do that. Like before, you'd have to click it.
Raw is going to be going to Netflix.
They're going to have the library.
They're getting it all, and they're going to do Nitro and Raw, WCW, ECW, and WWE, and they're going to do it from beginning to end where you can just hit play, and they're going to insert the pay-per-views where they are Sunday night.
Oh wait, so it's all plugged into one, so you don't have to click around. Oh, that's perfect.
Oh shit!
You remember how Sunday night? Yeah. Sunday Night Heat used to come on. They're going to put that in where that's a rumor that gained some steam on some big like IGN networks and all that. I'm telling you, I'm in. Netflix, if you do that, you the best, because we didn't get that with WWE Network or Peacock.
Oh yeah. Hell, like what the work that Triple H is doing right now since he took over is a fucking chef's kiss.
Look, if anybody could take over, if it's not Shane McMahon, I'm glad it's Triple H. Just to be honest with you, but I still think Shane McMahon should have got the company. It still rubs me the wrong way.
You talking about Sunday Night Heat? You remember, what was it, Wednesday Night Velocity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thursday Night Thunder, Saturday Night Main Event was on NBC. That was before y'all were born. But so after WrestleMania 3, it got so big, NBC, a network, grabbed WWF, is what it was at the time, and gave them a Saturday night primetime show. Roddy Piper beat up Santa Claus on it one time. Like, it was really good. But number 3 Royal Rumble, Brandon.
This one was in consideration to be one. I've got the 2001 Rumble. This is where Kane broke the record for the most eliminations with 11, and Austin ended up winning his 3rd Rumble at this point, dude. Epic. The roster was loaded. It was nonstop action. Kane with the coming out party like that, Austin winning his 3rd, and then obviously going and winning the title at Mania. But this one was really good.
I agree. That was a really, really good one. I watched that yesterday. Or the day before. Like, I literally just watched it within the last couple of days. That shit was really good. Kane was just chunking fools out.
Yep.
I mean, it was really good. Kane's character development from being Isaac Yankem DDS to being Diesel, and then he became Kane, and now he's one of the most iconic. You talk about putting in work. Going through the dumb gimmicks, being the guy that you're putting people over, and then all of a sudden you've got one of the most iconic gimmicks that ever was, and you're a multiple title holder. Kudos to the mayor of Knox County there. Yeah. So what about you, James? Number 3.
So number 3, I got Royal Rumble 2005. When Batista, like arguably the most controversial ending to a Royal Rumble ever, with both John Cena and Batista getting
Fell out at
eliminated
the
at the
same
same
Yeah.
time.
time.
Mhm.
Vince coming out,
He's like
barely doing
irate.
anything, tears both his fucking quads getting into the ring alone.
He's like irate. He's like, what? No, 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 this is not. And I'm like, dude, how did you jack yourself up like that? Like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
and then like just in the match alone, we saw a classic buildup between Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle up to WrestleMania 21, which was just insane. But ultimately, aside from that, you got two of arguably the hottest rising stars at the time, being John Cena and Batista. Batista's really starting to get some recognition. John Cena with the Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick, and you knew they were just both going to be put over at WrestleMania 21. And man, just everything that happened in that Royal Rumble was just pure chaos.
It was. That was a good one.
It was. I'm gonna watch. I'm on 2003 right now. So if that tells you how much I've been watching Royal Rumble,
I got done watching that one right before I got on here.
So
That
I'll
was
be watching
03.
that one after the show because I started with 88.
God damn! So you started from the beginning. Yeah, you riding it. Choo!
I tell you, man, I do this about once a year. Usually in December, January, or usually December because January is Royal Rumble, and I just watch it, and then get back in because it's my favorite. So number 3 for me, very, very, very good Royal Rumble. 1992, Ric Flair wins the Royal Rumble. Sid Vicious was the heavy favorite. He was out there just demolishing dudes, and then Hulk Hogan, of all people, come in and help Ric Flair out. A lot of people don't know that they're still good friends to this day. Hulk Hogan says Ric Flair's the GOAT. Ric Flair says Hogan's the GOAT. That's how that goes. But to watch Hogan help Ric Flair, who was the ultimate heel, but Sid Vicious was a heel. Anyway, it was really good. I love when Ric Flair went to WWF. It was a big moment. Like, he was so well. Let's go ahead and put this in perspective. Ric Flair was so well respected that he joins the WWF within 3 months, wins the Royal Rumble, goes to WrestleMania, wins the title. I mean, like all within 6 months of being there. Nobody does that. Like, not AJ Styles, nobody. Like,
Didn't he win the title from winning the Rumble though? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't the belt like on the line?
Yes,
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes, but he went to WrestleMania and he defended it. Yeah. So, I mean, it was just classic that Ric Flair just came. I mean, like, that's star power to come into the WWF and immediately just start. I'm the man.
Yeah.
Really, really good WrestleMania. I watched it the other day. It was really good. Number 2.
Number 2, man, this is a really underrated one as well that ends up finishing with one of your favorite guys. Actually, your favorite guy, Dan. That's Royal Rumble 07. Crazy Royal Rumble ends up finishing with HBK and Taker at the end. Classic. You didn't know who was gonna win. It was back and forth and back and forth, and it was good to see the Undertaker win and obviously go on to win the title at WrestleMania. It was a really good moment. But this Royal Rumble was really underrated. A loaded roster, jam-packed with a lot of action, and one of the better endings that I can remember.
Yeah, that was really good one. So, anytime Shawn Michaels is involved, James.
So number 2, I got Stone Cold winning in 2001, I believe, which led to the greatest buildup in possibly WWE history of The Rock and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 17. And I mean, this was when Austin was at his peak and he was like on fire. I'm talking like Phoenix burning hot on fire, top guy in the company, making cameos, appearances, and cartoons everywhere. And this was just the cherry on top, and obviously him getting the title at Mania.
Yeah, so 2 of us got that one. I wonder if Andrew got that one.
All right. So my
if
number
you don't, I'd be surprised.
Okay. So surprise. My number 2. My number 2 is the 1996 Royal Rumble. Where you're sitting there and then it's Shawn Michaels and it's Diesel and it's Kama, and Diesel throws Kama out, turns around. Soon as he throws him out, he turns around, runs into a sweet chin music, flips over the top. Shawn Michaels wins. Really good, really good one. I loved it. Shawn Michaels deserved it. But if you even take the ending out of the equation, star-studded. That's back when WWF used to bring back Greg the Hammer Valentine and IRS and Marty Jannetty, and I know that don't mean much to people who weren't there, but that shit was fun to watch all these old wrestlers come back out and, you know, get the bump for a little bit, and before, you know, somebody like Undertaker or Hulk Hogan, or not Hulk Hogan at that point, Undertaker or Bret Hart threw him out. Yokozuna. Also one of my favorite Royal Rumbles, man. I love me some Yokozuna. One of the most underrated characters ever. You rarely ever hear anybody talk about him, but the dude just won titles. He headlined WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan. I mean, like nobody headlines with Hulk Hogan unless they're a top star.
Yeah.
So, and then the build up with him and Lex Luger. Anyway, so that was my number 2.
The one you're talking about, was that the same one where HBK won for number 1? And he went over the top rope and only 1 foot hit the ground? It's not the same one. Huh? Okay.
That's not the same one. This is the one where he never went all the way over. He slid in a bunch. He didn't do any of that, but that's when he kicked Kevin Nash.
Okay, gotcha. That one that I was talking about was still really good too, though. That was crazy. Freaking went over, and nobody had ever seen like the 1 foot on the floor thing. And everybody's like, "Oh, he's out, and it's like, no, he's not.
2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good one. So number 1, Brandon.
I got Royal Rumble 04, man. One of the only times anybody's ever came in from number 1 and win it all the way. Come on, man. And he got the freaking Big Show over the top rope in a freaking chokehold, flipping him over. Come on, man. That was a
you
really
talk
good
about
Rumble.
forever and a century.
Tell me that's not a good Royal Rumble. That was a good Royal Rumble.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I loved it. That Benoit, yes. Big Show being there, no.
No. I guess it was like getting finally to the pinnacle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
it could have been somebody else.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like Chris Benoit should have been able to throw out a Rock or a Stone Cold because you're trying to make him that guy. And the Big Show just was not that guy. I mean, he just choked his big ass out and rolled him out. I don't know. The Rumble itself was really good. I was really rooting for Chris Benoit to win, so it did go the way I was hoping. But I felt like they screwed Chris Benoit there. I felt like it should have been Jericho or Rock.
Woo! No, that would have been sick. Him eliminating Jericho.
Yes.
That would have been a really good spot.
He deserved it. And they gave him the Big Show.
Yeah, I mean, if Taker wasn't gone at the moment, because obviously he was going to come back with his dead man gimmick, that would have been a really good elimination too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Or hell, like they honestly could have given him Kane to like give it as a build up even more. Like it's down
they could have had like the light flash or something. Yeah,
and then all of a sudden Taker's gong hits and it's like and then like that honestly could have worked.
Or I'm with you on Kane or anybody but Big Show. Not that I dislike Big Show. He's from Aiken, South Carolina, which is like an hour from me. I mean, that's really cool and all that. But I just felt like Benoit. I mean, I loved that Benoit won. It was a really good Rumble from beginning to end. But I still feel like they should have given him somebody beside Big Show.
I think it was just because he was always like the smaller guy, and I guess they wanted to sell the point that obviously the smaller guys are starting to get over. So I get that, but you could have picked somebody with a little bit more star power, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just my feeling. Great Royal Rumble though. James, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is definitely going to have to be when British Bulldog thought he won, but Shawn Michaels only had the 1 foot on the ground, like basically pulling arguably one of the greatest Uno reverses in Royal Rumble history, and then is like, "Oh, you don't see me? Bet."
I like that. I like that analogy. That was funny.
So yeah, but I mean, it was just crazy. Like to see an ending like that, it's like, oh, he's out. No, 1 foot is down. 1 foot is down. British Bulldog. I don't know what you're doing, thinking you celebrating. This ain't 1776 anymore.
He always got the shaft too. You remember when he was supposed to win the WWF title and The Rock's like 1, 2. The Rock doesn't have to count to 3.
Yep. Well,
Oh my
I
god.
mean,
Well, no, on top of that, it was when also when he won the IC title at SummerSlam, and he even went to Brett and was like, dude, I am hung the fuck over. There is no way I'm gonna be able to make it through this match. And Brett basically had to do all the driving.
yeah. So I will tell you, I'm a little disappointed that both of you stole my thunder here, but that's okay. My number one is HBK 1 to 30. Nobody had ever done it. He had 1 foot down. Like I can't even tell my story now. But yeah,
Damn.
he had 1 foot. That's my guy. Like y'all.
I can switch it and go like real recent with Cody winning last year.
Nah, we ruined it, bro. I started it, you piggybacked on it, and now he's like, well, damn, now you stole my damn thunder.
But you're right though. That's the part that I can't say shit because you're right. That is the greatest Royal Rumble ever.
But you should be happy though, because at least we're referencing the older stuff. Most of them are like, oh, I see your age, and y'all are young as hell, and I'm old as hell. And what the
Yeah. Hell, I really could have showed my age and said Cody Rhodes in back-to-back years.
I mean, look, this past Royal Rumble was great, but to say it rivals HBK's 1 to 30 with the 1 foot down, man, that's crazy talk.
Well, look, I'm gonna just say this: people talk about when Triple H had his little reign of terror with the big gold and everything like that. I mean, Roman Reigns' 3.5-year title reign, and it was just like, holy shit, somebody's got to put an end to this guy.
I still rather Hunter's reign than that. It just felt like I don't know, it just didn't like it. When Triple H won it was like really believable. And it felt like, man, he just can't. And Reigns is just like, okay, like it doesn't matter who he faces the pay-per-view, they're gonna come out and they're gonna screw him, and like LA Knight's not gonna beat him, and this guy's not gonna beat him. And when he finally lost it, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, it was iconic. If you go history and if you go top to bottom in history, it is. He ended the reign. Cody Rhodes is a megastar. That place erupted when he won at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
erupted.
What?
But it was a good Royal. But Shawn Michaels, man, like if you notice, he 2 and 1 on my list. 95, 96. He won it in back-to-back years. He had the 1 foot down iconic. Next year, he kicked his friend Diesel out after he threw Kama Mustafa out. He turned around, ran right into Sweet Chin. I mean, they're just, but the 1 foot down, that did it for me because British Bulldog was like, I'm so happy. All the Hart Foundation, they've had titles. I haven't. Here I go. I got my shot. But like at no point, like if I go back and I watch it now, knowing what I know, star power and all that, at no point were they ever seriously considering letting the British Bulldog win this event. like it was just Shawn Michaels ran the company. He fucking hated the Hart Foundation. He goes, I'm eliminating one of these people. I am the big dog.
Exactly.
And of course, Bret Hart said, absolutely not. But yeah, no, that was great, man. I absolutely. I watched that Royal. I'm gonna admit I watched it twice, back to back. So good from beginning to end. But we're going to take our final commercial break, and then we're gonna come back with a surprise top 5 list that was not on here earlier. You're watching Legends of the Squared Circle only on the Villain Media Network.
Tonight we're on our border. We stick to the band. Chaos and disorder, play them like a
distant sea, circling eternally. Come and help me from this insanity.
Beetlejuice,
Hey,
what's
you
up?
snap nut.
What'd you call me?
Snap nut.
You know who you're talking to?
Yeah, you, snap nut.
It's Mr. Flatnut to you.
It's when he says that's Mr. Slapnuts.
Yeah.
By the way, here's your image of what we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
One foot down. That shit's so funny. I love Jeff Jarrett. One of the most underrated, funny guys ever. Jeff Jarrett always made me laugh. Even when he first came out and he was supposed to be this country music star, like he'd be out there playing a song, somebody come out and they'd be like, God, you suck so bad. And then he'd be like, you want to try it better? Go ahead. Give him a mic, turn around, walk around, and then he'd go. And then as they're about to sing, bam, right in the back of the head. Like,
Not
Jeff
to mention all the memes that you get with this dude using a guitar over somebody's head. Oh, if in the 1950s, if the wife didn't have dinner made when you walk through the door, bam!
Man, I'm telling you, I love Jeff Jarrett. I'm a Jeff Jarrett fan, and I have been since he came out. That guy was hilarious. He won a title, and so he doesn't get to go on our list, but he's definitely one of the guys, if we ever had a who should have got a bigger push, like guys like him, Bam Bam Bigelow are going to be on my list on that. So first of all, I love Jeff Jarrett. So surprise top 5. It is the holiday season, and I'm a Christmas guy. For those of you who are on my social media at USC Fan 981 on X and on TikTok, if you're on my Facebook, I'm not giving out my private Facebook, but if you're on there, you know that I love Christmas. Like I am Mr. Christmas, dude. Like I love it. So with that being said, we are going to do our top 5 all-time Christmas movies, and this is our favorite, not the best. Keep that in mind. These aren't the best 5. Sometimes we people get confused. These are our favorite 5. And I don't remember whose. I think this was James's idea to do, man, and I think it's a great one.
He's like, I don't think so.
I was like, yeah, it's more like, was it?
Yeah, it was my idea. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was your idea. You said it in the chat. You're like, we should do a top 5 Christmas movies. And I was like, yeah, I'm down with that already. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Number 5, Brandon, I don't know y'all's, and I'm excited to hear what y'all have.
I got Christmas the Cranks, man. Christmas the Cranks is dope, bro.
Watched it 3 days ago with the wife.
We just watched it a few days ago. It's that good. It's like a ritual. It's like a ritual. Like she liked to watch it every year, and I was like, we watch it every freaking. It's always.
Yep. My wife had never seen it till the other day, so it was. It was.
Tim Allen's really good. You can't go wrong.
No, I love Tim Allen. Gosh, fucking great movie. Number 5, James.
Number 5, I got arguably one of the all-time classics, A Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, I love A Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, like anytime you watch it and it's about this dude that is just so greedy, can't even spare a dime or anything like that, and he's visited by past, present, and future, being able to see what he was like, what's going on with his co-worker Bob Cratchit, and seeing where all that greed is going to get him if he continues down the same road, and is able to like just redeem himself. Like, okay, three spirits visited me last night. Yeah, I got some redemption to do. So
I will keep mine for later. I love A Christmas Carol. So my number 5 is Home Alone. Like Home Alone, it came out when I was younger, and he's in there. He's just fucking like, I love Joe Pesci, by the way. I just love him. And so Joe Pesci plays the bad guy in here, right? And Macaulay Culkin's he's shooting him in the nuts with a BB gun. He's putting the hot
hair on fire, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Putting the hot thing on the handle. And I mean, if you don't like Home Alone, then you got some soul searching to do because that shit.
You're not American, bro. You need to
not
know.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick about Home Alone, there is a little thing on Netflix called The Movies That Made Us, and Home Alone is one of them.
Yeah.
And oh
It's
my god,
iconic.
it's so much fun to watch.
So did you hear? And I saw it on IGN, and I don't know how much steam it really has, but IGN's a verified network, right?
Mhm.
Said they're doing a new Home Alone where the wet bandits just get out of prison and they're coming looking for adult Kevin. I don't know.
Hey, okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But everything after 2 is trash. Like once
Facts.
you changed up the cast, it was trash.
Right.
But that idea is gold. I
Yeah,
would pay
I saw-
money to go see
Oh,
that.
yeah, like shut up and take my money kind of deal.
Right now.
Man.
Like
Hey.
when I saw
Yeah.
it was IGN on Facebook, I was like, IGN, you know, they don't say nothing unless it's growing steam or it's real.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, the wet bandits get out of prison, they come looking
Hey,
for
old
adult
as
Kevin.
hell.
I'm in.
Plus, I would love to see Macaulay Culkin back on the big screen again.
Yes. I'm glad to see he's doing a lot better too, man. He's in a
Oh,
lot
hell
better
yeah.
spirits nowadays, so it's really good to see.
But I will tell you, as long as it ain't like Party Monster, because I'll tell you that shit got me, man. Because like I'm flipping one night and it's like Elijah Wood, Macaulay Culkin, like watch this, what's this? And like an hour in, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching, man? I don't know if I've seen it, but don't watch it. Yeah. Anyway, so I just don't do it. Don't. I was duped. I thought I was gonna watch a really cool movie with two actors I liked, and it was not a really cool movie, bro.
It'd be like that's 90s movies for you though, bro.
No.
You either get one that's like really good or one that's like not so good.
Well,
Yeah,
not to mention, as a kid, you're enjoying the movie and just how funny it is. As an adult, what the hell did Kevin's dad do to be able to afford a trip to Paris for that many people?
What does
Yeah.
he do to have the house, bro? That's a big
That
ass house.
Just don't watch Party Monster. It'll ruin Macaulay Culkin for you.
Got it.
So we're gonna do like a watch along on the channel, so everybody can like, yeah, okay.
We cannot put that movie on live like at all.
It's like the equivalent of Deliverance, probably.
No, it is not.
Oh, it's worse. It's worse
Oh,
than Deliverance.
yeah.
Deliverance
Damn.
is bad.
It's
Yeah,
drugs,
really. Yeah.
Oh
it's
my God.
drugs and sexual perversions and orgies and like.
Did he
crazy.
ask him to squeal like a pig?
No, it's Hollywood.
Okay, I'm just saying that was Deliverance.
No, we can show Deliverance. We
No,
cannot say-
that was traumatizing. I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
watch that
So, hold
again.
This is a Diddy party. This movie.
Oh dear.
Okay, yeah,
Way
okay,
left.
okay.
There
Yeah,
you go.
this is not rated M for mature, I promise. Like we're not gonna go there.
No, we are not. That's rated.
X-rated.
Yeah,
X-rated.
that's rated B for banned from Facebook. Is what that is.
Banned from everywhere.
Everywhere. We'll never recover from that. No, terrible movie. Number 4, Brandon.
Man, number 4, man. I got the sequel to the one you just said, man. Home Alone 2, bro. Sequel
Oh,
to one of the
New
greatest
York
Christmas.
City?
The fact that I liked it because you weren't confined to one town. There on the other side of the world, he's freaking stuck in New York, going around, getting into shit. The stuff with the workers at the hotel, bro. And he plays
Yes.
the movie, and the guy's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And he's shooting the other guy's, oh, no. Or he's like, oh, you've been sleeping with my wife. He's like, Cliff? What? What you doing? It was so good. Like, it was so freaking good.
Yeah, Home Alone 2 was great. I loved Home Alone 2. 1 and 2 were really good. I never even saw 3.
I didn't even.
I saw 3 once, and then I was just like, "What the hell is
You
this?
can't
Where's Macaulay Culkin?"
You can't recreate something with that.
No.
Like, you just can't.
No. Mm-mm. So, number 4.
So number 4, I'm really reaching in my bag with this one. My mom I've watched it with my mom plenty of times. Number 4 spot, I got It's a Wonderful Life.
Wow, that's a throwback.
Oh yeah.
That's a throwback. Andrew's like, oh shit.
Like, oh my god, you talk about an emotional ending. That shit takes me out every time because it was like this dude has been there for everybody in the town that he both was born and grew up in, and he thought he could try to solve something on his own, but once one of his assistants or once his wife went around telling everybody in town, like, hey, George needs help. Like, he's in trouble financially. We need to help him out, because he's always been there for us. And then it's like, well, hey, take a look at what would have happened if you were never born, dude.
So I will tell you at 5, 6, 7, and 8, which I'm not doing 6, 7, and 8. We're so close. But I couldn't leave Home Alone out in the end. But It's a Wonderful Life, man. I went back and forth with that one. One of my favorite ones. Jimmy Stewart's brother goes off, gets to have all these great adventures, and he stays home, takes care of his dad, and it's very emotional, very good. It was hard for me to keep it out, but Home Alone came out when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? It was just I couldn't leave Home Alone out. But great freaking movie, dude.
Yeah.
It gets me too. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
You big softy.
I am.
It's just so hard because, like, once you see that, it's like, holy shit, you're now the richest dude in town. You've helped everybody. They have now helped you, and it's just like, damn, you just can't help but shed some tears.
Man, especially when he's about to jump off that bridge.
Yes.
Yeah, good one, man. Thank you for that. We're gonna put that in our Christmas repertoire. So number 4 for me was Christmas with the Cranks. Like, that shit's so fucking funny. My wife and I watched it a couple days ago, and it's a newer movie. So for it to really make my list is very significant because I'll go ahead and break something here, like the Santa Claus, which I love, which was in my 5, 6, 7, 8 trying to put it in. But this one made it. Christmas with the Cranks. Like, I was rolling the whole time, man. The whole time, especially when like they're trying to get the tree out after he convinced his neighbor to let him borrow his tree. So Spike goes in there and helps him. He's like, and the guy's like, "You break one ornament, we're dead." So Spike breaks an ornament. He goes, "What's this?" He says, "Baby's first Christmas." He goes, "Perfect."
Or when he got freaking Botox and he couldn't freaking eat anything.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've watched that plenty of times, and it's a hell of a movie. But I even told my wife this, like, in a way and in a sense, Tim Allen kind of did have a point. Like, yeah, your daughter is off in Peru, or was it Peru?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're getting ready to go on a cruise, have fun. At the same time, y'all still could have put your lights up.
So I am Dan Aykroyd in this movie 100%.
I love that.
I seriously would have told my daughter, like, look, I'm sorry to lay this on you last minute, but you're laying this on us last minute. We got a cruise to catch.
No.
Nah, she wouldn't. The mama wasn't having that, bro.
Oh no, hell
Jamie
no.
Lee Curtis wasn't having that. But Dan Aykroyd's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yes.
And that, if you ever know, like, if I were to ever move into a neighborhood like that, like, that would be me 100%. Put your fucking Christmas lights up. You're not skipping fucking Christmas. You're gonna make your donation. Like, no fucking way, man. Christmas is the best. And you said Tim Allen kind of had a point. The kids were gone.
Well, look, I'm not saying
I am never skipping Christmas.
Hey, look, I'm not saying I'm not gonna be like, oh, hey, no, we're not gonna put our lights up. Like, no, we're gonna put our lights up. We're gonna get our artificial tree set up.
You gotta put frosty up.
I got these tickets the day after that she left.
Total boycott, he said. Total boycott.
Oh yeah,
dude's like,
I'm still putting lights up.
But
regardless, like, I would still get into the Christmas spirit, put the lights and tree up, but at the same time, like, yo, I'm going on this cruise.
No,
he's like, nah, total boycott. We're not even donating shit. Like, we're done. Like, she's like, oh, guess we ain't going.
I will tell you though, that movie was really good. I'm never skipping Christmas. Like, if you want to know my personality, Dan Aykroyd in that movie, that's me 100%. But still at the end doing the right thing to help him, even though he was mean to him. But
yeah,
the ending to this movie is one of the best endings that not just Christmas, any movie ever was. He loved this trip. It was a dream trip for him. He wanted it so bad, and he saved some money. He figured out at Christmas how he could save money and go on this trip that he's never got to go on. And then his daughter comes home. He's like, I'm not leaving my daughter. That's my family. And then turns around and gives his rival neighbor and his sick wife the dream vacation because she doesn't have much time left. Man, that's shit's Niagara Falls when you watch it, man. Like, that's a great movie.
Yes.
Mhm.
So number 3.
Man, I'm going with a movie that's one of the greatest trilogies of all time. I'm going Christmas Vacation at number 3.
Ooh.
I love it.
Christmas
I
Vacation,
nearly
bro.
switched up my list and
Bruh.
wanted to put that at the 5 spot.
Homie comes. Well, one, freaking Chevy Chase is waiting for a damn Christmas bonus and gets a bullshit freaking coupon
Hey,
that
kids,
was
look over there.
horrible. Then
The
freaking
most
and then homeboy
reasonable
pulls
crash
up.
out I have ever seen in my entire life.
Oh man, and homeboy pulls up in his freaking trailer and he's spending all kinds of
Doesn't that he
freaking
wasn't
money he
playing
don't
around.
want to spend. He and the freaking penny loafer shoes he gave him. I'm like, dude, like, what is going on? Like, get out of here. And then freaking what they go to pray and she says like the freaking national anthem or something like that. I
Yes.
forget what it.
Yeah.
Dude,
That-
Chevy Chase is the GOAT, bro.
It was a
This
play.
movie was great.
Bro,
Chevy
Yeah,
the
Pledge of
grandma
Allegiance.
in that movie is
flag.
Yeah, it was the
actually
Pledge of
OG
Allegiance.
actor of Betty Boop.
Look, Christmas Vacation was in my 5, 6, 7, 8 jumble, right? If this was my brother-in-law Wes, like, this is his favorite movie of all time, not just Christmas. I love this movie too. It was like I told you, this was so hard. This was harder than the other list we did for me. Like it just was. So that 5, 6, 7, 8, this movie's in there. But when he goes, "Hey kids, look over there,"
You can, but you get old and you're like, damn, I can relate. Like, yeah, I feel that. Like, I feel that.
Yeah, you can't see any penny lines, can you, Russ? Now, Russ, come on.
He was
Like,
always getting in
comedic
trouble,
timing. You can't beat it.
dog. He was always getting in trouble, bro.
So Chevy Chase, we should do our top 5 favorite actors.
Man.
Sometime.
But we
Chevy
should pick
Chase,
different genres though. So you could go like comedy actors, serious roles, stuff like
So we
that.
really should. That should be something that we do, and we should do it on Legends of the Squared Circle because this is our fun show that we do. We should definitely do our top 5 favorite actors in drama or whatever. That should be on a day that I could come. But I will tell you, Chevy Chase is very high on my list of favorite actors. But I love that idea, Brendan. Like, break it down because it is different. It is different. Your favorite comedic actor is not your favorite action film star.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's really good. So number 3.
So number 3, not as deep, but I'm going with the very first Santa Claus.
Love it.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
a classic,
I
man. You
mean,
can't go
Tim
wrong.
Allen-
I'm 6, 7, 8. I told you.
Tim Allen in that is just perfect. And, with him, seeing his wife date this psychiatrist and everything like that. And just his delivery in the principal's office. Shared a bowl of sugar, drinks some brown liquor, field dressed a cat. I'm like, dude, what in a sense that's me. And then, he doesn't want to accept it at first. Like, hey, what if I don't want to do this? And then just over the course of the movie, you can start to see him start to change. And I mean, it's just so awesome.
Well, I mean, if you get to be Santa fucking Claus, man, like that's the gig right there.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
There's nothing I would love more than to be Santa Claus. Like, I love giving gifts more than it. Unfortunately, I'm poor, so I can only, do so much. But I love giving gifts. Man, that's the dream job. Going into people's homes, seeing how they live, because there's no judgment here. I promise you. I don't care how you live. I'm not judging you ever. Bro, we've been down, we've been up. So, like, going into people's homes, seeing what they're dealing with and tough times, and you're giving them the present that they want most, that they can't afford. Man, that's the job for Andrew right there. Love that movie, though. You're absolutely right. It was in my 5, 6, 7, 8, but when Judge Reinhold got that weenie whistle he asked for when he was 4 years old. When he was 4, he didn't believe in Santa anymore because he didn't get his weenie whistle. And then he hands it to him. Man, that was so good.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, guys, JD is back in the States. I don't know how long that's been up there. I hope not long. But JD is awesome. You all know he's my best friend from childhood. I mean, he went to the South Carolina Clemson game. He was there to watch South Carolina win the
Dude,
game.
fuck
So
yeah.
But yeah, we're doing top 5 Christmas movies right now, JD. And also, I don't know if you like wrestling. Like, I just never saw you watch it, but you're more than welcome to come on anytime. So number 3 for me, couldn't leave it out. A Christmas Story.
Yes.
I love this movie. Like, you heard the most iconic "You'll Shoot Your Eye Out," but that movie top to bottom, where he fantasizes about shooting the bad guys with his Red Ryder BB, or when he gets his little orphan Annie decoder and he's so happy and he locks his brother out of the bathrooms. Oh yeah, so you come on the show and you'll do some wrestling with us, man. And then like he decodes it and it's drink your Ovaltine. He was so fucking mad.
Oh,
The best part of the movie is when he finally snaps. Like
yes.
he's pissed
No,
off.
that
about
yeah,
what he
that
wants to do.
His
asshole had
beef
it
dude's
coming.
friggin' ass, bro.
Yeah,
He had it coming.
yeah,
No,
he's pissed off that because he thought he wasn't gonna. Yeah, it's a great movie. He's pissed off because he thought he wasn't gonna get his gun, and that kid just pushed him too far, and he was like,
Oh yeah.
Russia, just like blood everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And they're trying to warn him his mom's there, and his mom. and
then not to mention probably the best scene throughout the entire movie. Oh
yeah, fudge.
Yeah.
He goes, you know what your son just said? What?
No!
Man.
Bar soap in the mouth, bro.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
That was good, especially when Georgie was crying. She's like, "What's wrong, Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie."
How about Fragile?
That must be Italian.
So hold on. Andy JD just said that. He said, "I'm getting the leg lamp for show." Let me tell you how much I love this movie. I got that bit.
My mom actually has that as a little candle thing.
So I have it, and it is absolutely hilarious because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's not in my top 2, you know? So, like, and it was really hard for me not to put this movie in my top 2 because it was my go-to Christmas. Like, as a kid, that's the first Christmas movie I ever saw. Like,
it was a thing we'd watch on. It would stay on marathon on Thanksgiving every year, and we'd have to watch it over and over and over. It never got old.
They do a 24-hour marathon of it on Christmas Day.
Yeah, Christmas
Eve. They used to do it on Thanksgiving too, though.
Did they?
When I was a kid, yeah, it was every year we'd watch it.
He's got the bunny.
That's cute.
Watching every year now, the 24 hours.
He's gonna see if you get your tongue stuck to the pole, bro.
Yes. Literally, Christmas Eve.
Bitches! Bumpuses!
I think it comes on at 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve and plays to 5 p.m. on Christmas Day. I literally just put TNT on and just let it loop.
Hell yeah.
Like that's all I watch. So it's kind of Christmas tradition. But number 2, I'm interested to see what your top 2 are the most. I know top 3 is not fun, but top 2.
My number 1, nobody's gonna see it coming at all.
Okay.
But my number 2, man, you gotta go Home Alone, man. It's a classic Christmas movie. You can plug anybody into the TV. Anybody can find something in that movie to be good about. And you look back now and you're like, yeah, I can really relate to where a dude's coming from.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody was gonna be able to pull off all that cool shit, bro. He's got the dude in the shower, the freaking blow up doll in the shower. He's got the Michael Jordan rolling around the freaking train. Dude, it was perfect. The doorknob, the slippery goose stuff, like the freaking what he had, the cinder blocks or whatever freaking hanging, he freaking fling them down the stairs. Like,
yeah,
oh,
the paint cans.
Oh yeah, that's what it was, paint cans. It was just perfect. Dude freaking steals a toothbrush from the freaking store, freaking runs like, and he's thinking this one guy's like a murderer the whole time. He ends up being the good guy. He freaking lets out the tarantula and ends up.
Oh god, that scene is just so relatable on so many levels.
Look, I'm with you. When the evil guy turns out to be the guy that saves him, it's the classic "don't judge a book by a cover" type of movie. Home Alone was my number 5. I already went through my whole spiel, so I won't do it again. But I love that movie. Number 2 for you, James.
Number 2 for me, I mean, this is where some movies should have taken notes because this thing was really brought to life in the best way possible. I'm going Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Yeah, it's still a good movie. I don't have it 5, but I can watch it every year just because Jim Carrey's like the shit. I
Oh
like
yeah.
any movie that Jim Carrey's in, but I mean, it's
Plus,
still
the
really
more you
good.
watch it, the more relatable that you can get to it. And
Wait.
for me, there's just so many hilarious scenes of Jim Carrey just stealing the show. Obviously, this was actually supposed to be a blooper. He goes to grab the tablecloth, yanks it out, and nothing fell. And then he just immediately comes back. He's like, just destroying everything, trying to figure out what to wear to go to this Whoville celebration. And then him going over his schedule while he still has the invitation. I'm like, why is that me now? I feel attacked. I feel personally attacked, but I could fucking relate to that.
So here's my thing, right? Like for me, if we're doing top 5 Christmas cartoons of all time, The Grinch is going in there, which I am making my top 5 list. Cartoons, I was going to say that, but funny you said The Grinch.
The one with Boris Karloff as the
yes.
all-time classic.
Yeah, so I guess for me that was something I watched as a kid. Like that's how old it is. I watched as a kid. So when the movie came out, and I love Jim. I think the problem for me was I love The Grinch and I love Jim Carrey and I was looking forward to it so much and it just didn't hit like I thought it was going to.
You wasn't a kid though. You couldn't relate. Like you had already seen you were already embedded with the cartoon. So you liked all the elements, but it just didn't level. It just didn't measure up to like what you had previously, seen.
Right. Plus for me, when this came out, I'm 10 years old and Jim Carrey's still like in the prime of his career after just running through and much like Adam Sandler and Chris Farley just owning the 90s.
Chris Farley, I tell you, Chris Farley, when we do our top 5 favorite comedic
Hollywood
actors,
Ninja.
He's on, man. It's Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja. Yeah.
Fucking hilarious, man. But look, Tommy
Boy. Yes, we said at the same time.
But Black Sheep, like Tommy Boy was funnier than Black Sheep, but Black Sheep had the one funniest like scene I've ever seen when the cop pulls them over because they're going like 2 miles an hour.
And they're so stoned.
He's like, "Why are you going?" He goes, "You know how fast you were going?" He's like, 40? 42? No, you were going 2 miles an hour. He goes,
"Tell me your name, officer."
Yes.
Me off. Jack.
I'm not really sure, but what happened was, I got to get this prisoner to the next state because he got caught raping dead horses. He goes, "My God, you get that prisoner through my state a little faster than 2 miles an hour, officer." I'm sorry. It's funny. I know this is Christmas, but man, we could go on with this. Like, there's always enough content. So number 2 for me, I struggle with this. 2 and 1, I flip flop. But number 1 got it because it's the most iconic Christmas movie and it involves my favorite actor and it's made me cry more times than anything. But number 2 for me is A Christmas Carol. So you talked about it, but we talked about how 3 ghosts visit, he changed, but let me tell you why this is important to me. This is a movie about changing your heart, like you would give when you give your life to Jesus. And let me explain why, because this is a true story I'm about to drop on y'all. 10 years ago, I remember we were talking about A Christmas Carol, and we were talking about Scrooge, and I'm like, I understand Scrooge. Like here, like y'all, I'm sick of this because Scrooge said many people would rather die than go to the poorhouses. And then Scrooge said, well, then let them and decrease the surplus population. So I literally told this group of people, I was like, yeah, that's the way it should be. Like, if you're not willing to go out there and do something, then just go die somewhere. Like, literally my mindset. Like, I'm not joking. Like, y'all wouldn't have known me 10 years ago. Y'all would have been like, this ain't Andrew. Like you have no, you don't understand the change that Jesus brought me. But I said it and I meant it. Like, I don't say shit unless I mean it. And I meant that shit. Like, just let him go die. And then, he changes at the end. He's like, you're supposed to love and be kind to everybody. And then that hit me, like I said, and now I am screwed. So I am the evolution of the movie. So it hits really hard for me when I watched it. I think I recognized that last year, a year before when I was watching it. It all hit me. And I was like it was just, man, that is so good because that is so relevant to who I was. I was old Scrooge, caught the spirit, and now I'm new Scrooge. So that shit is real to me. That movie is real. So I guess that's why it's so important. And I struggled to put it because I wanted to put it number one because of that reason. But this is favorite movies, not most impactful movies. So but that gets number two. That reason alone, even to this day, just hits my soul.
Can't
But
go wrong.
can't. But like, y'all know me now for a long time. Could y'all imagine me saying something like that to a group of people?
Damn.
What?
I would have been like,
Who
hold
is
up.
you?
Right. But yeah, thank God I'm not that man anymore. Like the Holy Spirit found me, and then I met my wife, who just made me a better man. And like I just, it's just a fact of life. But I changed when that day, and I don't know. But we got more coming up with that, and it's just something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a Jesus guy. But number one, Brandon.
So don't give me no flack, okay? This is a Christmas movie, okay? But
Oh,
like
God.
the actors and everything that are in here, this is a series of movies. This is not a standalone movie, but this movie in specific is a Christmas movie. But the story behind it isn't really a high Christmas movie, if that makes sense. I watch it because I have
Just
to get
bringing controversy.
what?
You're just bringing
Yeah,
controversy.
dude, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. If you ain't doing it, he ain't doing it. I got to do it. So it is a Christmas movie, but I watch it every year for the simple fact that I know I'm gonna get a really good laugh out of it. Man, I got Friday After Next. No,
Oh, wow.
I thought
No?
you were Die Hard, but Friday After
Yeah,
Next.
that's right. That's where my mindset was going. Damn.
Wasn't Friday
Nah.
After Next with Pinky?
Friday After Next is the Christmas one. It's the third one.
Oh yeah.
Where the
yeah.
where the movie starts out with the freaking dude breaking into their freaking apartment dressed as Santa and stealing all their freaking rent money and all their freaking presents. And then they freaking get a gig on as a security freaking unit and get fired the exact same freaking day. It's like, come on. I know it's not a high like movie like that, but I like getting a good laugh, and I'll always get a laugh out of that.
Yep. So funny movie. Not my top 5 Christmas, but this is your favorite. Like, that's why this is so unique. These are our favorites. These aren't the best. Number one for you, James.
So number one for me is solely because I grew up watching this movie as a kid. Y'all two had it in two different places, but I'm going with the OG Home Alone. Like I said, I grew up watching it. So many iconic scenes, so many laughs in that movie, and this is a 10-year-old kid who his parents forgot because the power goes out and they're rushing to get ready. They finally make it to the trip until they're halfway to France and realizing that they forgot their son. Meanwhile, this kid is holding down the fort and getting and getting fucking groceries for less than $20, a simple meal and all that. And there was just chaos, madness, comedy. Joe Pesci just being like seeing that kind of side of Joe Pesci when he's been in so many gangster movies is crazy.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
him and Goodfellas was the movie.
Oof.
Yeah, it was. And my cousin Vinny. Like,
Yes.
Oh, dude, yes. Yeah.
great
Oh,
movie.
Marissa Tomei in that.
So my got a comment over here. What's up, Terry? How we doing? I mean, I love Terry. Terry's one of our biggest fans, and I love having him on here. You're catching the tail end of the show. We're at our final number one, which is mine. My number one favorite Christmas movie is Scrooged with a D, starring Bill Murray. So if you've never seen
Oh, I
that,
love Bill Murray.
if you've never seen that movie, that is the most iconic Christmas movie for me. That like they take the three ghosts in that, especially the girl at the beginning. She's got her boobs hanging out, so he walks over there to look at him. She fucking nails his ass with a toaster, and he falls down some stairs, and he sees homeboy dead, and he's like, "No, Herm, you come." I mean, like that shit hit it, and then the second guy, the cab driver, Niagara Falls, Frankie. He's like, I was moved by a gift in today's market because knock it off. So that's my most favorite Christmas movie. Bill Murray's my favorite actor. Just
I love
hilarious.
Bill Murray, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bill Murray's the GOAT, bro.
He is, man. Scrooge. Matter of fact, we think to go watch it. I'm getting off here now. We got some presents to wrap, and we're gonna go watch Scrooge right this moment. So,
Hell yeah.
Thank you, fellas, for being on. We got 3 comments real quick. What's the topic? Yeah, favorite Christmas Vacation. That was in there.
Yep.
That we all it was in my 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
But love that movie. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. And until next time, of course, Thursday, watch College Sports Villains. Wednesday, watch Alcoholics. Friday, No Mercy Sports. Sunday, you got Game Day Countdown with Mac and James. And, of course, the coup de grace on Sunday night, Football Frame of Mind. Watch it all on the Villain Media Network, and we'll be back next Monday. I don't think I'm going to be here for this one next Monday, but maybe we'll just have to see. With that being said, you're watching Legends of the Squared Circle only on the Villain Media Network. And as always, John 3:16.